our fourth session of Explore Exercise Group Coaching. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm still fighting this cold. I cannot get rid of this cold, so I'm not quite sure what's the story, but I apologize once again for sounding awful. I feel okay. It's just still stuck in my head, and of course the coughing. So the coughing can just go. It's pretty miserable, especially at night. So anyways, I apologize for sounding hoarse, but wanted to be here for you guys this morning. Let's get started. We're on to our fourth session. So I always say this, but once again, hopefully you guys are finding these beneficial. If you have any feedback or need any additional support, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always open to, changing these up or being available in different capacities if it's not working, but hopefully it is. And we'll just continue on after the session. We have one more to go, so let's get into it. So last week, I just wanted to kind of put a little mini challenge out there to see, some new opportunities or explore some different programs or workout classes or workout types. So I had just, kind of threw it out there. Wanted to see if anybody wanted to try something new. Is there anybody out there that tried a new workout program or a new exercise routine or a new class at your gym or jumped on a new piece of equipment that you didn't before? If you want to share, feel free. If not, no worries. I kind of did something new this weekend, although we've done it before, but I took my son to like a family yoga class. So we did it once before a while back and did it again, and he really enjoyed it. He's 5, so it was kind of cool to do something, with him, obviously, but then to do something where he, really enjoyed it and got to do some fun stuff. They used all different terminology for the poses, and I thought that was kind of fun to keep them engaged. So, all right, let's see if anybody else responded. Okay, so somebody tried a new piece of equipment at their gym called the Climb Mill. Not familiar with that, but it sounds pretty interesting. Very cool. Had somebody try a new class at their exercise facility, Zumba. Somebody tried a Zumba class. Cool. Zumba intimidates me. That's a challenging one, especially you got to keep your rhythm, you got to keep the energy. That's cool. Tell me more about the Climb Mill. What is the Climb Mill? Is that like a treadmill? But are you climbing, or are you just? I feel like I maybe know, is it more of like a loop or a kind of like a smiley face versus a flat treadmill? Sorry to call you out, the person. It's like rotating stairs. Oh gosh. Yeah, you have to have coordination for that. Very cool. All right, and then we had somebody else that didn't try anything new, but definitely got into a good routine. Cool. All right, cool. Well, thanks guys for sharing. Once again, it's always kind of fun to try new exercise programs or classes. So, I definitely would encourage you to keep an open mind with exercise. It can be, any shape or form or whatever intrigues you, whatever interests you. Even just, trying a new a piece of equipment at your gym is always kind of sometimes intimidating, but just trying it and giving it a go is always kind of fun. So cool. Thanks for sharing. All right. So our plan for today is to get into talking more about the acronym FIT. It's giving a little bit more in depth of how much you should be exercising, at what intensity, for how long, and what type. So, I think the biggest thing is when you're putting an effort to exercise, you really want you want to have that return on investment, right? You want to make sure whatever you're doing is impactful and you're getting the results you want. And I think it's really important to, sometimes we're not, no pun intended, but jumping on the treadmill and, or I should say maybe the hamster wheel and, putting in effort, but not really getting the results. And then obviously comes frustration and, then more times than not, you probably just ditch the whole plan and kind of go back to your old ways. So kind of having a good combination or good recipe of how much, what type of time is good to, focus on today. So the first one is frequency. It's how often you're active. And for everyone, you really should be active 5 or more days a week. And when I say active, that means, you're moving your body consistently. It could be a walk, it could be an exercise program, or just something where your heart rate is up a little bit more, and you're actually, moving more than just walking around at work or taking the steps or, that next level. If exercise is completely new to you, don't worry, just start somewhere, start slowly, and then build up to that 5 days a week. For beginners, focusing on that 2 to 3 day target, if you're able to get that 2 in, maybe add that additional third, that'd be good. And then for those of you that are more into exercise routines and programs, continue with aerobic activity 5 or more days a week. If you're up to that 6 or even having that 7th day, that's great. Just making sure, we'll talk more about rest next week, but making sure you're getting that rest for yourself. And then additionally, two days of strength training on non-consecutive days. So Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, or whatever, to mix it up. So it's not 2 days in a row of strength. All right, intensity. How hard are you working out? So how hard is your heart beating? How hard are your muscles working? How hard are your lungs working? For everyone, remember to always have a warm up and cool down, and making sure you're stretching. Be active at a moderate intensity. A good example would be a brisk walk, and slow down if you can't, catch your breath, or if you're having problems breathing, really, make sure you're not overdoing it. But, if you're at that, level, you should be feeling somewhat uncomfortable, not where you're going to pass out or, toss up your breakfast, but to a level where you're feeling like you're pushing yourself. I think it's different for everybody, so tuning into you and yourself is really the most important thing. Once again, please don't overdo it. For those more experienced athletes and exercisers, building up the intensity by increasing speed, your incline or resistance, and then for weights, just adding more weights, right? I think that's the best way to do it. You can also kind of tweak it as far as, maybe more weights, less reps, a little less weight, more reps, but that would be how you would build your intensity. All right. This chart is good. It kind of reminds me of when you're at the doctor's office and you kind of judge your pain, and a smiley face is no pain, and a frowny face with tears is the most pain. Well, this is kind of the perceived exertion index. It's a good way of keeping track of your exercise intensity. So if you would talk to yourself and say, I'm so tired, I can't go anymore, I can't put one more foot in front of the other, I'm going to, whatever, that's 10 or 9. And if you're not tired at all and you could keep going and this is easy, well, that's probably more of the 1 to 2 range. And then somewhere in between, maybe focusing more on the tired to the really tired to really, be in that sweet spot for exercise. Also, a good way to kind of gauge your intensity is the talking test. If you're able, if you want to be at a higher intensity and you can get in a couple words, but maybe not a full sentence, that's a good gauge. But if you want to, maintain a good, steady cardio routine of a jog or a walk, making sure you can at least get a full sentence in before you have to take a breath is kind of a good gauge. Okay. Next is time. How long are you active? So the best opportunity for everyone to stay active for at least 10 minutes without stopping Some people say, well, I can get 5 here and 5 there and 5 there. Yeah, that's okay. It's better than nothing. But if you can get at least 10 in without stopping and aiming for 30, that's really the best place to be. For weight loss, it's best to do up to 60. So kind of keep that in your mind. And I know exercise and time is tough for people, but once again, just build up to it. And you have 24 hours a day. So if one of the hours is exercise, putting it in perception that way, it's really not that much. So hang with me. And back to kind of intensity, increase your time, and then increase your intensity. So kind of put that in that order for your activity if you're building on your exercise routine. And really there's no time goals for strength. So however long it takes you, don't rush it. Don't rush your reps, but don't say, oh, I have to get 30 minutes of lifting in. Everybody's different. Everybody takes longer breaks. Everybody, whatever. So just do what you know what's best for you for that capacity. And type, what are you doing? We talked a little bit about the different types of exercise last week about cardio exercise, what can make your heart beat faster, different cardio opportunities, biking, dancing, swimming, mowing the lawn for some people, strength training, lifting, more, daily activities of carrying wood chopping, yard work, that kind of strength training, and then just plain old lifting weights at the gym, and then flexibility, stretches, and yoga. So those are the different types. Once again, mix it up, keep it exciting and real. Go back on the, what was it called, the climbing mill. Just don't fall off. All right, once again, find a fitness routine that works for you. Any progress is moving forward. Moving forward is progress. And then, just focus on those structured and unstructured exercise programs. So structured is, I am going to go to the gym. I'm going to go running after work. I'm going to go for a walk at lunch. Those are, something that we structure into our day and we plan for. Unstructured are kind of activities of daily living, running around with our kids or, walking our dog or going, shopping and walking around or working out in the yard with, wood chopping or mowing the lawn or, those type of things are more of the unstructured. So having a good balance of both is really kind of that recipe to success. All right, touch base with me at some point this week if you can, and talk to me about some of your wins that have been kind of happening over these last few weeks. Small or large, what have been some wins? What has changed since we started talking? What have you done for yourself as far as your exercise routine that has impacted this? Let's talk about wins and focus on the positive. Feel free to shoot me an email, give me a call, or even just write it down. Acknowledging that positivity is really good with progress moving forward. All right, guys. Let's talk next week. Our last one is overcoming barriers and preventing and, working through injuries. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Otherwise, I will hang out on the line if anybody has any questions. Thanks for being here on this morning, Monday morning, and enjoy the rest of your week, guys. We'll talk to you soon.